In this video, I'm going to talk about the parenting styles discussed in your book. Now, your book does not have something quite like this, but I find this to be the easiest way to think about parenting styles and what happens depending on what the parenting style is. So there are a few different ways, or two different dimensions of parenting. You have the one dimension that is warmth, and you have another dimension that is the demands you place on them. Is there a curfew? Do they have chores? All that fun stuff. So you have high warmth or low warmth, high demands or low demands. So this would be high, that would be low. So if you have high warmth and high demands, so this is someone who's very loving, but there's a lot of expectations for the kid knows exactly what's expected, that's going to be the authoritative parenting style, and this is the best. These kids are going to have higher self-esteem, they are going to have more self-reliance, they are going to have more social competence, they are going to do much better than any of the other types if your parents are loving but still have expectations. Now, if your parent is loving but there's not a lot of demands, this is someone that would rather be your best friend than your parent, then that is called the permissive parenting style. And if you have a permissive parent, you are going to be more aggressive. You are also going to be more immature. We tend to call this as having limited competence because you're really only good at what you want to be good at. That should say immature. You're not going to be good at everything. Your parents are loving, they support you in what you want to do, but if you don't care about it, they're not going to care either. If you come home with a C in math because you don't like math, you're not going to get in trouble for it. So that's why you tend to see that immaturity, that limited competence associated with it. Now, if you have a parent with high demand but low warmth, I like to think about the father at the beginning of The Sound of Music with his whistle and the specific rules he had for the kids. We call that authoritarian. So lots of demands, not a whole lot of warmth going on. And so kids raised with this type of parent, they're going to have less social skills. They're going to have less self-esteem. They're going to have what is called enforceable competence. So they are competent when they are around the person who has those demands, but not necessarily around other people, the ones that don't have that demand on them. So it's tends to be associated with problems. Do not confuse authoritarian with authoritative. They sound similar, but authoritarian is the high demand, but not a lot of warmth. And then finally, we have this category. Your book doesn't really go into this one, but it seems silly to leave an empty quadrant. So the final type of parenting style, this is going to be neglectful. And so this is not good. If you have neglectful parents, they don't care about you, this is the worst type of parenting to have. They have no warmth, they have no demands, because they just don't care about you. And kids that are raised in this environment, of course, there's always going to be an exception to the rule, but these kids are not really going to develop a lot of competence because they don't have any support, they have no love, they have no structure. It's really the worst way to be. So you have these four parenting styles depending on how you fall into the demand and warmth category. High demand, high warmth, you're going to be authoritative. If you have the demands but without the warmth, it's authoritarian. If you have neither warmth nor demands, it's neglectful. And if your parent's your best friend, lots of warmth but no demands, you have the permissive parenting style.